Okay, so in the last few videos, we have got the understanding of list in a general sense. We have seen why it is called as a sequence type. We have seen what are the different sequence types available and why list is an mutable sequence type. Okay, and in that regarding, we have also seen how mutable and immutable objects or sequence types are different from one another. Okay, but it is now time to look into list concept in a more detail. Okay, and how we can make use of this concept for our code. Okay, so let us just go into IntelliJ IDEA and try to understand. Okay, so let us take one list for example. Okay, so numbers list suppose, and the list is like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. Okay, so suppose this is the list that I have taken. Okay, and let us try to understand which are the operations that I can perform on this particular list. So as you might recall in the documentation when we saw it earlier, it had said that list can be put onto common sequence operations. Okay, so common sequence operations are can be done over list, right? So these are some of the operations that we can do over the list. Okay, so as you might recall, we have seen these operations on strings as well. Okay, so let us start from them so that you will understand it comparatively how they can be used. Okay, so like what we had done with strings, we can access the individual members in the list as well. Okay, so let us just see how it can be done. So suppose if I want to access this particular element in the list. Okay, so similarly what we had done in strings part, we have to find out what is the index of that particular value in the list. Okay, so similar to strings, this will be your first value in the index. So 0, this will be 0th index, this will be 1, and this will be 2, right? So how I can access it? So I'll have to write the name of my list. Okay, so numbers underscore list, and in square bracket I will have to write the index position of that particular value. So right now the value is 2, that is why I have written 2. So let us just see whether this works or not. So as you can observe, it will give you the value at that particular index. Okay, so this operation can be done. Again, similar to strings, what we can do, we can also get a range of values within the list. Okay, so suppose if I want to get values from 1 colon 4. Okay, so as you might recall how this particular slicing works. Okay, so we can slice the list as well from index value 1 up to 4. Okay, but not including 4. So I want you to guess what will be the output of this. Okay, I'll just run it meanwhile. So if you just check, it will give you a list. Again, just observe it is not giving you the values separately, it will give you a list. So always remember, slicing will give you list only, but in the range of those values. So 2, 3, 4 are considered. And why they are considered? First value, it is 2. Okay, and fourth value, okay, fourth value is never considered up to 3. So 1, again this will be 2, again this will be 3, right? So fourth value is not considered. Similar to strings. Okay, another thing that we can do with lists similar to strings is that we can get the values in steps, right? So 1 colon, again suppose if I take 5, again colon, suppose if I take 2. Okay, so we can even define the step size. I want you to guess what will be the output. Let us just see. Okay, so again we are getting a different list with values 2 and 4. And why 2 and 4? Again, it will start from this position, right? And it will go in steps of 2, right? So 2 and 4 will be considered, and because the range, the value is up to 5. Okay, so 5 will come out to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So one value less than that. Okay, so that is why only 2 and 4 were shown, and it was shown like that. Okay, again, we can also find out the length of the list, right? So how it can be done? So len of, I'll have to write the name of my list. Okay, so it will give me the length of my list. Okay, so I'll just have to print it out, right? So we'll put it in the print statement. It will print out the length of our list, similar to strings. Okay, so let's just run it and see what it prints out. Okay, so it is printing out 6. Okay, because there are 6 number of values in our list, that is why it is giving answer as 6. Okay, Again, one more thing that we can do with this is that mean. We can find out the minimum value of our list. So number underscore list. Okay. Again, if I just run it, let us just see what do we get. Okay, so because I forgot to write print, so it didn't print anything. So I'll have to put it in the print statement, right? So should be in print again. Let us just put parenthesis. Let us just run again, and now it will say 1. Okay, so it is the minimum value that is there in the list. So one value will be printed. Similar thing can be done for max. So if I just copy it and let us just paste it out. Okay, so rather than min, now I will use max. So I wanted to guess what is the output. I hope you will get it. And as you can see, 6 answer is shown because the last element or the highest or the largest element in my list is 6. Okay, so these are the operations that we can do. Again, for one more thing that we can do over here is that we can find out the index of a particular value in the string or in the list, as I wanted to say. So suppose if I want to find out what is the index of this particular value, so how it can be done? So I will have to write print, and in that I'll have to first of all write the name of my list. Okay, so number underscore list dot, I will have to find out the index. Okay, so it should be written like index. I'll just press enter, and in the parenthesis of the index I'll have to write the value of which I want to find out the index. Okay, so I wanted to find out the index of value 4. So let us just run and see what it says about it. Okay, so it is saying as 3. Okay, so let us just check whether the answer is 3 or not. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay, so this particular method, dot index method, it will give you the index value of any particular item in the list. Okay, so one more thing that we can also do is that we can find out the number of occurrences in a particular list, okay, of a particular item. So number of occurrences means if a particular item in the list is there for multiple number of times, so it will be shown in the list. Okay, so what I can do is that let us just replace it with 4 again. Okay, so now there are 4 values 2 times there in the list. Okay, so let us just see whether our Python is able to guess that particular thing or not. So I'll have to write the name of the list dot, I will have to write count, and again I want to check the count for a particular value, right? So I want to check it for value 4. How many times 4 is there in my list? Okay, so if I just run it, it will say 2. Okay, so as you can observe, it will tell the number of times this particular value is occurred inside this particular list. Okay, so these were some of the basic things that can be performed on list. There are some even special operations that are allowed in mutable sequences. Because list is a mutable sequence, we can perform those operations on that as well. So one of them could be, suppose if I want to replace a particular value in the list. So suppose what I want to do is I want to replace this 4 value with our earlier 3 value. Okay, so I'll have to just know what is the index of this. So the index could be would be 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so how I can do it is that number underscore list of with index value 2, I want to replace it with a value of 3, right? So let us just see what will happen if I just now I'll have to print out my list again, right? So let us just print out to see the effect. Okay, so numbers underscore list, right? So let us just see what prints out. Okay, so as you can observe, now my list will be modified again with the updated value. Okay, so that 4 value is now replaced with 3. Okay, so this operation, what it will do, it will replace this index position in the list with this value. Okay, so because there was 4, now it is being replaced with 3. Okay, so this is one of the operation that we can perform. Again, we have seen how to append to our list as well. So we have seen that already. Again, let us see. So number underscore list, we can append to it. What do we want to append? So suppose if I want to append, our list is up to 6, right? So let us just try to append 7 value to that. Okay, so it will be appended at the end, and let us just print it out again. So I'll just copy this line of code, and let us just paste it. Okay, so if I just run it, you'll observe that now the list is modified with this particular content and 7 values appended to that. Okay, so these are some of the operations again which can be performed onto the list. We can even iterate over our list. Okay, so I'll just remove this part now. This has gone too long. So we can even iterate over the list like we do in our string. So for iteration we can make use of loop. Suppose so for num in number underscore list, right? So how I can iterate it? So let us just print it out simply. Okay, so print num. Okay, so what I expect right now is that I want to iterate over my list using this particular iterable variable. Okay, so let's just see what output do we get. So now I have iterated over my list and I'm getting separate values out of my list. Okay, so this is even possible like what it was possible in strings. Okay, a few more things we can do with the lists. So as you can observe, it can be used with for loop, or it can be used with loops for iteration. We can even use it for checking the conditions in if as well. Okay, so that thing is also possible. Okay, and a few more things that we can do is that let us just take two um, lists. Okay, so even list. Okay, I will take it as 2, 4, 6. Okay, so number of or the values in the list are 2, 4, 6. So it is a list of even numbers. And let us take another list of odd values. Or odd list is equal to, in that, 1 comma 3 comma 5. Okay, so it is a list of odd numbers. Okay, so as we have told in the documentation, the common sequence operations are possible, and one of the common sequence operations is that we can concatenate the strings, right? So numbers list, I can equate it to even list plus odd list. So what it means is that I have written a statement to concatenate the two lists. Okay, so like we used to do concatenation with the string, same concatenation should be possible with the list as well. So if I just print out the list, okay, so let's just print out the final list what that we have created. So numbers list, right? So let us just see what output do we get after the concatenation, or whether the concatenation was successful. Okay, so as you can observe, the concatenation is successful. First it is 2, 4, 6, and after that 1, 3, 5 values are concatenated into the strings. Okay, I wanted to say list. Okay. Okay, so these were some of the many operations that we can perform on list. So if we just go back into the documentation, so these were some of the common sequence operations that we have seen. Okay, so these are the operations that we have seen right now using these various functions that we can operate upon. And even if you check the mutable sequence types, okay, so these are some of the special things that are allowed in mutable sequence type. So we have seen how to replace that, and we can even replace a range of values, okay, using this value t. Okay, and again we can even delete a range of values using del. Okay, so similarly again replacement with step is also possible. So similarly replacement with step, deletion with step is also possible. Append we have already seen. Clear is one of the method that we can use that will remove all the items from the list. Okay, similar to del again. So copy, again it will copy. So extend, these are some of the methods that we can use with list. Okay, so insert is there, we can insert at particular positions with specifying the index value. Again popping out, that is also possible. Again we can remove the particular item in the list, okay, by specifying its value. And again we can even reverse the items of the string s. Okay, so they have taken the string name as s, so we can do that as well. Okay, so these are the many operations that we can perform on list. Okay, but one more thing that we want to understand over here is that while understanding the list, okay, they had said that it supports one method which is very special to that, which is a sort method. Okay, so let us just look into that sort method and how it can be implemented. Okay, so let us see how sort can be used. Okay, so I'll have to write, I'll just use the sort for my final list of numbers. So numbers underscore list dot sort. Okay, so I have written that numbers underscore list dot sort, and then let us see what it has done to our string. So I'll just copy this line of code, I'll just paste it over here. So I'm printing the numbers underscore list. Okay, so let us just run it and check what happened. So when I did that, it had sorted my list in ascending order. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the earlier list, as you can observe, it was not sorted. It was having first even numbers and then odd numbers, but now it is sorted. Okay, but just observe here, this is a method that we have made use of. But don't do one mistake. Okay, the general mistake that students do over here is that they try to write it like this. Okay, and I'll put it over here. So if I just run it, okay, it returns none. Okay, so you cannot use this method inside print. Okay, you'll have to do it separately. It returns none always. Okay, just remember that. Okay, so it will perform the operation on the original string, but you cannot use it inside the print statement. You'll have to use it. The print statement should have to be always outside that. You cannot print and sort in the same line. Okay, and even as you know, this is also not possible. Okay, so new underscore list is equal to, okay, so it is also not possible to assign this particular uh, sorting method or the sorting operation to any other variable. Okay, so as you can observe, function sort doesn't return anything. Okay, so that is why this is also not allowed. Okay, so you'll have to have a separate line of code for that sorting, and then it will be modifying. Just observe what I'm saying. It is modifying the original list. Okay, it is not just sorting, it is modifying the original list with that particular sorting. So uh, you will completely lose your original list, okay, with this type of sorting. Okay, and what else we can even do is that as we saw in the documentation, with the sort method, there is one keyword, there is one argument that we can make use of. So they are saying reverse is equal to true false. Okay, so this is the by default condition of the sort method, that reverse value is false or reverse is false. So we can make it true to check it again whether it sorts in reverse order. Okay, so that can also be done. So what I'll have to just do is, in this I'll have to write reverse is equal to, let us just make it true. Okay, by default it is false, let us just make it true, and let us see what happens. So now you will find that the list is sorted in a reverse way. Okay, so because we have put that argument, we have changed the default value of that argument. Okay, so I hope you have understood how sort works. And one more thing that we can do, or that is also there in the Python. Okay, so as I've told you, this method will modify the original list. Okay, so you will never get your original list back. But what if you don't want to get if you don't want to change the original list, and still if you want to modify your or still if you want to sort your list? Okay, so that can also be done. I'll just put it in the comments and just comment it out, and let's just see how that can be done. Okay, so the simplest way to do that is that just you can make use of one function in Python, which is sorted. Okay, so sorted function can be used for performing that task. Okay, let's just see whether it sorts our list or not. Okay, so it will sort it. Okay, as you can observe, like what was done earlier. So sorting will be done similar to dot sort method, but what it will do is it will not modify the original list. So what will happen if I just write, if I just print out the original list? Let us just print out the original list. So number underscore list, and now if I run it, you'll observe that the original list which was there earlier, it has not been modified. Okay, sorted method has just sorted the contents of the list, and it has not modified the original list, which was not the case with this particular dot sort method. Okay, here it was modifying the original list. Okay, so I hope you have understood the difference between sorted function and the special, very special dot sort method that is available over there. We can sort it in both the ways. Okay, reverse way or in the ascending way. Okay, so I hope you have understood the concept of this. Okay, so I hope you have understood the concept of list. We are going to use it during our course many while, but these are some of the basics that we wanted to cover before using them. Okay, so okay then I will see you in my next video.